It's trash day, I'm putting you out, it's trash day. Putting you out, it's trash day. Putting you out of my mind. It's trash day, I'm putting you out, it's trash day. I'm putting you out, trash day, I'm putting you out of my mind. Now I'm gonna clean up, now I'm gonna clean up, now I'm gonna clean up the house. Taking all your garbage, taking all your garbage, taking all your garbage.
It's Super Can Crusherlistic Espialidocious, even though the sounds of us isn't quite atrocious. If you say it loud enough, you'll sound quite precocious. It's Super Can Crusherlistic Espialidocious. It's Can Crusher Day.
What the hell was that?
That's just a little something fun to get you up and running on the day, bud.
That's got nothing to do with wrestling.
Neither does drinking beer.
Yes, it does.
Neither does being two everyday average garbage men, but here
we are not average.
Here we are.
We are not average. Don't even say that. The beers are popped already.
Yeah,
it's Miller Lite again.
It's hot out, and we have just been. I have two sweet beers for us to try at my house that I forgot this morning. Me moving to Kersey has put a hindrance on us. I'm sorry. Blame Teresa.
All right, it's Teresa's fault.
Teresa's fault for that.
Teresa's fault.
What do you got for us, Mark? We got some OVW.
OVW's after the Crockett Cup. I already recorded the whole
Crockett.
got
some Crockett Cup stuff. Yeah, because you went on a big trip this weekend.
Yeah, it was amazing. It really was. I cover all that in the Crockett Cup thing. I figured you didn't want to hear me talk for 20 minutes about it.
I figured we'd just touch on it briefly. That way you could tell people that you got to be a fan this weekend. Totally fanboying out.
I did, but I also made some connections as well with, I'm not going to release it, but I have some phone numbers.
Oh, you get some digits.
Yeah.
You remember your wife's listening.
Well, she knows. She knows it's not anything that I'm going to be running away with Santana Garrett or anybody like that.
Let's be honest, neither one of us are running anywhere.
Running is not happening.
Not today. It's too hot.
Next person that says, hey, it's cold outside, I'm going to kick them in the junk.
Actually, it's cold in the mornings. It is. It's that precious season in Pennsylvania where you start off the day with the 75 heater blowing full blower, and then by the time you get home, you got air conditioner cranked.
Yeah, I couldn't wait to run into the house and put shorts on because I played it that it was going to rain today. So I wore my flannels. It wasn't cold, but the flannels protect against the rain a little bit. Oh, stupid.
Tomorrow, I plan on being miserable in the morning because I'm rocking shorts tomorrow.
Are you really?
I'm rocking them. It's time. Because it's so hot at the end of the day.
It is, but it's going to be super moist tomorrow.
Whatever.
Moist.
Who
likes the word moist?
Oh, everybody does. So let's go with the Legit Badass Tournament.
Yeah, we still have
Coliseum, it's in there.
4 more days of round 1. Take a break until next Thursday, recap everything. But today is Rocky Johnson against Tommy Dreamer.
Tommy Dreamer, there we go.
Yeah.
Right there it is. Did you vote yet?
I did vote.
I voted Dreamer.
Did you really?
I think I'm the only one because it was 25%, and
it's gone up. We have a lot more votes now.
We're awesome. Our awesome Can Crusher Nation is charging up, getting ready to go.
I was legit on the fence about this one, but Rocky Johnson's a beast. I mean, maybe the only reason why Tommy Dreamer's in it is because he got one nut.
Well, I mean, maybe that's it. We've gone over some of the winners already. I think you got one missing, didn't?
I probably didn't write yesterday's.
That was Y2J and Matsui, wasn't it? Who won?
Y2J.
There we go.
Handily, too.
I am writing that down.
Handily. I'll tell you who is not picking winners. The English professor is on the losing shtick most of the time of picking winners.
Oh.
So,
well.
Yeah, it's the English professor.
He's always right about everything else, so why can't he be wrong about this?
Oh, he goes off this week, too. He goes off.
But more on that in a minute.
More on that in 2 minutes.
2 minutes, yeah. We got a long time before that happened.
Actually, we have a hell of a long time.
A hell of a long time even. Holy Moses.
Yeah, we're transitioning into Crockett Cup, and then we'll go right into OVW. You'll talk to Paul in about a half an hour.
Yeah, see you guys.
And welcome back to Can Crushers, Mark Martinez, and I'd like to welcome alongside longtime friend of the show and even longer time friend of the family and everything, Chad Parana. Chad, how the hell you doing?
Doing great. Recovering from our trip this past weekend.
Yeah, and what a trip it was. You called me a couple of weeks ago. We got some stuff in order, and we headed to the Crockett Cup in Concord, North Carolina. Wonderful.
It was a trip. It was a heck of a trip. The adrenaline going down, and the anticipation of everything was absolutely awesome. Felt like a little kid again.
Yeah, and that anticipation led to us meeting some of our childhood favorites. Magnum TA, Nikita Koloff, the Rock and Roll Express, the Midnight Express. I kind of met some of them before, but you not meeting them, Fat Kid at a candy store?
Very much so. The setup that they had made it so pleasant, too. It wasn't like you were rushed in, they scribbled their names, and, you were hushed through the line. You actually got to talk to them, joke with them. Met guys that I never thought I was ever going to meet. Billy Corrigan, what were they called? The panel discussions were absolutely
Q&As.
awesome. The Q&As, absolutely awesome. Mark got told to shut up by Jim Cornette.
I did. That was awesome. Quick story there. They were asking what kind of matches you'd like to see come back from NWA. And literally before they got it out of their mouth, I said scaffold matches. And Cornette shot me a glare and literally told me to shut up. It wasn't, kayfabe or anything. He literally said, shut up. So
it was hilarious, and it was all in joke. It wasn't like he was being a jerk about it or whatever. But he played his role, and it was hilarious. The whole setup that they had, you'd be crazy not to do it if you ever go down to something like this. We paid $150 for the meet and greet, which was 3-4 hours before the show. Then when you went to the show, they had most of the same people that were selling them, $30 or $40 a piece. What we paid for $150 for would have been, what do we figure, $370 at the show if we would have got it.
Yeah, and if you would have got more on, there was a couple other people there as well, but overall, everything that we got for $150 was about $550.
Right.
So it's ridiculous. If you don't do meet and greets for a one set price and you do a la carte, you're all a stupid.
Very much so. And you got to talk to them at the meet and greet, whereas the other one, there was, everybody that was there was ridiculously long lines, but that's how they make some of their money off of that.
Yeah, Marty's line is the one we're actually talking about as we talked to him, but Marty gave you literally 2 to 3 minutes a person, which was long there. Magnum and Nikita gave us 10.
We were there 10, 15 minutes just talking to them, and very personable. That's the whole thing. It wasn't just, hey, what's your name, sign, glad to meet you, glad you came. It wasn't like that. It was like you were just chilling out, having a beer with them, which we weren't, but it was just like you're chilling out, having a beer with them or something.
Yeah. So that's the meet and greet. Met, like Chad said, a lot of great people. Flip Gordon has become one of my favorites now. Just Chad for another reason, but me for... He's a podcast nerd. We were talking about that. We kind of clicked. We're going to make things happen. And I don't know. It's a long shot, but maybe in time we can work something out with Flip. But I know Flip also with you because another reason, right?
Yes. I was wearing a shirt that my better half got me at our local function here. And it was a shirt for veterans shirt. As I served 21 years in the Air Force and come back to home. But I wore this shirt down there, and Flip noticed my shirt, and he was like, I like that shirt. It's a really cool veteran shirt. And I was like, oh, thank you. And he's like, are you a veteran? And I was like, yeah, I served 21 years. And he was like, really? And we just got to talking. Here he is a 6-year veteran of the Army. And he made it very personal, very, thanking me for my time in. Bandito, who was right next to the table, overheard the conversation, and he did the same thing. And that's just something you don't get from a lot of this stuff, is them noticing something, a little logo on the corner of my shirt, and then it led into a whole discussion. Very personable people.
That led us to the event then. The event started at 7 o'clock. We got in early. You saw some of the pictures. And let's talk about the setup before we actually get into the matches and everything, which we're going to brief over because you guys know what happened and everything. When you walked in, did it instantly bring you back to 1987 or 1988, Chad?
Absolutely. It was the old school feel of going to the wrestling. From the canvas was the old NWA letters across the middle of it. Nothing real fancy, sparkly. It just had the old school feel, like when they used to come to the high schools, local high schools or something like that. It was the same type of setup.
No glitz and glamours on the ring post. I kind of skipped over that, but we were sitting in our seats and you're like, holy shit, look at the ring posts, because anymore the ring posts are wrapped in plastic with sparkles and LED boards that whatever, they just stand out. I just looked over it and it was just a pipe. Just old school pipe, like an old school, and I'm like, damn. And then the turnbuckles all had NWA on the top and bottom ropes, and then ROH on the middle ones because they were sponsored together, guys. You had to give some stuff to ROH, but to me it was a huge NWA card, and I loved it.
Yes, very, very much. It just made you feel like it did back then, when what wrestling was appreciated more, believed in more, I guess, is a way, and not all about the mighty dollar versus the entertainment factor for drawing you into the matches. There was nothing to really distract, the jumbotrons, this or that. Even the stage setup, which was a little bit behind the ring, was basic. They had the Crockett Cup sitting there with the newly done up NWA tag team titles there, which are shot back to the way the old ones were. Just the whole setup, it wasn't overpowering. You were there for the wrestling, for the wrestlers, for the prestige of the Crockett Cup coming back, and that's what the focus was on.
Yeah, and good segue, as I was going to say, let's tell them that we actually, we didn't ask this question, but one of our, one of the people that were in the Q&A with us said, hey, is this something that's going to happen every year? And Corrigan's like, yes. You then asked, is it going to travel? And he's like, not at the time.
He was kind of open for it to travel. He said he's not against it, but he wants to keep it where it was based before. He wants to be able to keep the remaining Crockett family involved in it. And if you travel it around and everything like that, then there might be the issues with that. But he's keeping to tradition. That's where he wants to keep it as. Bring everybody in to that area where everything was held before, and just keep it like it was before.
Yeah. One of my biggest beefs is that area is great, but me, the social media nerd, we had to either pay for internet or there was no cellular service. Me, I fought it all weekend saying that they wanted us to hashtag some stuff, and I'm like, damn it, we can't. Chad said maybe they did it on purpose to give us, again, the old school feel, and in case anything happened, surprises, or they wanted to be the first ones to release the Crockett Cup winners, where I would have been like, holy shit, we're here in North Carolina. You guys know how I am. So, but did that bother you?
It didn't bother me because I'm not a social media, quote unquote darling and that, and I wanted to concentrate on the card itself and pull in the whole experience without, hey, what's going, somebody texts me, hey, what's going on in this match? What went on in this match? What's this? I just was there and, okay, social media's cut off. Great. My focus is what's going on in the ring.
Miggy has a new friend, guys. Chad's in the studio, and Miggy is just meeting him for the first time. So he's, you can hear him in the background, just excited. So let's get to the matches. We're not going to break down each one, like I said. But we sucked outright. We can start with that. We couldn't pick this tournament to save our life.
No, not even close. I mean, we had, I think deep down in our hearts, we knew that the Rock and Roll Express weren't gonna win as much as we hate it, but we couldn't pick a thing.
Nothing.
I think the only match we got right in the entire, other than the very last match, was Bandito and Flip Gordon against the two Japanese wrestlers.
Yeah, the Luchas. Otherwise, they went against the grain. You said this from the get. They went against the grain the whole way with this tournament, but it kept you entertained. You were still invested in it, and this was the first time heels ever won the Crockett Cup.
And then when you watch Ring of Honor and see PCO and Brody King, they're not really heels there, but they kind of act it everywhere else.
Right.
And where they got the heel heat or got that going into the final was the Briscoes match, where it was kind of, the BS DQ decision and setting the final up with the injured guys going into the final against the team that's come out of nowhere. So it was just an all-around good setup, even though I was irritated the whole freaking time at them. I felt like I was watching wrestling in 86 again, and the Four Horsemen were, beating everybody and their mother again.
And that's what they wanted you to do. That was the whole experience. They pulled us right back in. We rated matches and everything, and the only reason why we have to say it is because there was no storyline. The women's match, not that it was bad, just least favorite match of the night, because there was really nothing coming out of it.
Yeah, there was no build up, and with Jazz having forfeited her title, I think a little over a week, if even that, before the event, it was okay. We got to get somebody in here, and both the females were great. They did a great job, but there just wasn't any. There wasn't any kind of investment in the match whatsoever. It was okay, either good guy or bad guy, but that was about it with that match.
We also said the Battle Royal was a little on the way down. We threw everything against the wall thinking this is where they're going to bring in somebody. We were hoping it wasn't two people that we don't like mentioning on the show because they're bums. But we were hoping somebody was going to come in because this wild card is going to blow it up. Once we saw who was in the Battle Royal, we were like, oh, the boys are going to win this.
Yeah, that was the folks that was like, yeah, they're going to win this. They're going to put them in. Nope.
That's where it started to screw Can Crushers right then and there. They just knew we were against Can Crushers. Chad's like, whoever you like, they hear you. They're going to do the other way. And
right.
It's unbelievable. All in all, you saw PCO and Brody King win the tournament. Great matches. Colt Cabana, your new national champion, which that kind of caught us off guard.
Yeah, it was a hell of a match between them. A lot more than I expected to see, to be honest with you. Because
no funny business from Colt.
Yeah, no, I mean, absolutely nothing from him. And just a very stiff match. Willie Mack took He got hit
bump.
and went through the ropes to the floor, but he did not touch the ropes, touch the apron or anything, and right on the back of his head and, upper back, and it looked bad. Legitimately, it looked like he probably had a concussion or something like that.
Yeah, as hard as he hit, it was unbelievable. It was a thud. It wasn't a thwack or, something that sounded good. It was a thud. A big man just hitting concrete.
If anybody remembers back to when Jake Roberts DDT'd Ricky Steamboat on the concrete, and the resulting of that, of Steamboat's head actually hitting the concrete full force, that's about what this thud sounded like. And we were, 30, 40 feet from the ring, and we could still clearly hear it when he hit.
So, match was great. After the match, Colt Cabana, like we said, wins, and then we have a surprise, and this was a big surprise with my quotes. James Storm comes out and challenges Colt Cabana. This is probably going to happen in September. Like, we're going to leak a little bit of that. Billy said he's looking for something to come back around in September, so this would be the match in September.
Yeah, wouldn't give a lot. He just threw the September date out there with 2 or 3 questions that was asked about the next event and everything like that. So seems to be that they got something in the works. How far they have it, we don't really know. It just, he really mentioned that date a couple of times, so he's kind of seemed like he was pushing it a little bit.
Yeah, when he at least unleashed that, I think he knows. He just keep back, oh, release a little bit, keep back, oh, release a little bit. So they're doing it the right way that way. Old school meets new school, but old school wrestling, marketing-wise. And then the match of the night, by far, Nick Aldis against Marty Scurll. And we're 5 minutes into the match, and Aldis is bleeding like a stuffed pig, just got poked. I still don't know. I didn't go back and watch the recap yet. I just don't know where he got it from.
Well, there was a clip that the NWA put on, I believe it was Twitter, and Nick was outside the ring, and all this came off of the apron, simple boot to the face.
So that was from the boot.
And that's the only. All this went down on the ground. Scurll kicked him a few times, stuff like that. Aldis gets up and he's busted open to the point of where he was already wiping it out of his eyes, both hands. It looked like he got cut pretty deep.
Yeah. On the way home, we actually brought up the whole mass transit issue a little bit. Maybe Nick cut himself a little bit too much, or because it was early. He didn't have a full sweat yet that makes that run and everything. I just think he nicked something.
Yeah, he definitely had the crimson mass coming down. I mean, it wasn't a little trickle or something like that. It was straight out from above his eye on the brow, just flowing, and it continued the whole match. And there was some spots that they kind of put in there, the weakness from thinking the blood loss and everything like that, but it didn't slow him down. It did not slow the match down. Nothing. I mean, they went at it full tilt, and I would say honestly probably the best match I've seen last 10 years from bell to bell.
I said that whole card, Chad, was the best thing I've seen in a long time. I mean, WWE, there's nothing to compete with that. Nothing. That card just throttled it. I honestly would have to go to an indie card to say, hey, this, if I'm going to take apples, oranges, and everything. But I was intrigued the whole way. Was it Meltzer gave it a 7 overall, right?
Yeah, the entire card is 7 overall. Rating down the things that we've mentioned, the Battle Royal, the women's match. But, he's rating it against these other companies and
Super
stuff.
shows.
And you can't really You can't really do that. You got to take it on its own merit. They're just starting back up. They're, in my eyes, kind of going with okay, we're going to work with Ring of Honor. We're going to work with CMLL. We're going to work with these other ones. And they're kind of almost the old territory type attitude with the way they're approaching it and that. And that's what the NWA was about. They weren't about just their guys. They went everywhere. They went to Florida, St. Louis, Texas, Kentucky,
Tennessee, Georgia.
And that's kind of what they're doing now. If they get, on board, attract a little bit of talent, hopefully work with maybe even AEW more, they could. I'm never going to say they're going to give WWE a run for their money just because of the money situation, but for quality, the sky is the limit for them. When you have somebody that was taken from TNA
as a bum, as a joke,
and allowed to be what he is, if you didn't know who this guy was, you'd be like, why isn't he signed someplace bigger? He's a complete big guy.
He is.
He has his power moves, but at the same token, the technical aspect of it absolutely blew my mind, because the last time I seen him wrestle was in TNA, and it was just a joke. Now they're allowed to be what they are. Skrull was absolutely entertaining, brutal. Did not appreciate his low blow at the end of the match, but
I did. I was on edge for this whole match. At one point I wanted Nick. At one point I'm switching over to Skrull. I'm glad that Nick won because it keeps prestige with the NWA. Not that Skrull wouldn't bring prestige, but just the 10-year title holds and everything. I don't know. It was great. I was a little kid, so I said overall 8.5, 9. It was really one of the greatest things. I loved the venue. The only thing I didn't like, Chad, was the ride home.
Yeah, that wasn't good. It's like our adrenaline's down. We're done with the events of the weekend, and then we got to come back to real life.
So, without a doubt, we will be... My goal is to attend every Crockett Cup from here on out. It really is. Things that we'd love to see. For Miggy to leave the studio right now would be number one. But we'd like to see this turned into a 2-day event.
Yes.
Add 8 more teams.
Yep.
And then you could defend the tag title. Like you said all this, and I'm just agreeing with you. You could defend the tag titles and national championship on day 1 along with first round. And then day 2, clean up the tournament, defend the women's title and the heavyweight title, and then you have 2 great nights of wrestling.
Yeah, it'd be an awesome thing. I think they could really, if they split it up that way, it would be well worth it. Like you said, bring in 8 more teams. Just make it. It's not going to be as huge as it was 30-some teams, maybe eventually, but you could make a 2-day event, bring back a lot of the veterans for the meet and greets and stuff like that. It could be a huge, huge event if they just play it right and just stick to tradition, which with Corrigan's comments in the Q&As, asking us what other pay-per-view or what other matches, cards would you like to see come back. He's a lover of wrestling. He talked about the stuff that he acquired in his own personal memorabilia and everything. And it seems like he's one that's really going to keep it grounded, so to speak, entertaining and grounded, and get a good card, good to great card for everybody every time.
Yeah, the eight extra teams could happen next year. I mean, if hey, it's going to be April next year, 2020, in Concord, North Carolina again, you reach out. I mean, we said keep it with indie teams. I'm all right with that. Maybe throw, I don't want to say Rock and Roll Express in again, But get some older, well-established people in there, yes. But I could name 8 teams right now that, granted, yeah, you're not going to call me to have them, but like the fraternity, just keep going. The main event. And those are just 2 from Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and, we were talking, what was going to be the surprise in the Battle Royal and some of the names we threw by. Look at the guys that you have in AEW that they could pull in. What about the Rhodes brothers?
Right?
Cody and Dustin. What about Kenny Omega and just about anybody? It's not that you have to bring these big guys in, promise them a one-off payday, which I think is what Corrigan will stay away from.
Right.
But he bring them in to make the card, just like he did NWA 70th anniversary with Cody and that. Just he has a really good plan, and whether you like the guy or not, he's got Jim Cornette in his ear.
Yeah, he does.
On this. And Cornette there's just nobody better in the business with the know-how, with what works, with how to do it. And it's not that he's trapped back in the 80s and everything like that, but he knows what'll work and he knows what the fans want to see.
Yep. That's a perfect way to end that. It really is. Anything else you want to say? Because they're going to hear me for another hour. So if you can say whatever else on the podcast.
Hey, take a check out of the NWA, the videos, the 70th anniversary show. They had a pop-up event, which I bought down there. Take a look at their videos. The stuff online, you can find a lot of it. It honestly really is well worth it. I was more into watching the pop-up video of the event and everything, which was highlighted by Nick Aldis against James Storm for the title. I was more interested in that than I really was interested in 90% of Raw last night. Just a good event. $15 for the video.
Yeah, it was nice. And I'm going to borrow that from them here shortly to watch it. FYI, I got to go watch Raw right now. Because I was tired last night. I was a little boy. We both said we should have taken Monday off because we were a train wreck yesterday.
But I'm a bum and retired, so my idea of taking Monday off was not moving very far from the couch all day. So,
and I was a garbage man. All right, Chad, thanks for coming on the show. We will have you on more. We have a lot more planned with you in the future. We have more NWA when it comes back around. So thanks for popping in.
Thank you for having me. My pleasure.
All right, time for my OBW report. Guys, there's no other way to start out the OBW report is if you have not watched OBW and you want to taste, holy crap, OBW 1028 is insane. Returns, changes, oh my God. It has changed the whole landscape of OVW, this show alone. Holy moly, make sure you watch it. So they recap right from the get what happened last week with Dimes winning the heavyweight championship against Tony Gunn, and then it's released that Tony Gunn's had to have surgery, so he's going to be out for months. Gilbert and Josh, welcome to the show. And then, boom, right off the bat, we're having the Anarchy title match right from the get. Guys, if you don't know what the Anarchy title match is, hardcore, anything goes. And Tommy Dreamer is active Anarchy heavyweight champion. None better. Well, he gets into the ring, and his opponent is going to be Shiloh Jones, who we've had on the show, by the way. Check it out, Can Crusher Spotlight. But Tommy Dreamer then announces his license are up in Kentucky. Folks, not really a side note or, anything. Legit, you have to have license in Kentucky, and this is possible that Tommy Dreamer has let his license lapse. So you can pick anything you want. Anything goes in this. So he picks Big Zoe to take on Shiloh Jones. This match is all over the place. The entire entourage is in there, and Zoe's fending himself off. If Zoe wins, Tommy Dreamer keeps the title because he's handpicked his his replacement for the night. As you can tell, this show was amazing. I'm just so jonesed about it. It's so much freaking fun. It was so fun. But the entourage just ends up being too much for Zoe. And we have a new champion as Shiloh Jones ends up getting a cheap victory, a roll-up with the feet on the ropes, but it's legal. It's legal. Anything goes with the Anarchy title. So Shiloh's a new champion. Gilbert is back in the ring, and he's going to welcome Dimes, and Dimes is preparing to take on anybody. You know, he's now TB champion and heavyweight champion. We won both of them last week. So, holy moly, whatever. I said, I'm just stoked about this whole show. Amon comes out and says, hey, I never lost this heavyweight title. You know, pretty much from months ago, he's never lost it. He just had it taken away from him. Smooth comes out as well, and behind him is the commish, Dean Hill. Well, Smooth is in Dean Hill's ear saying, tell him. Dean Hill has to announce that Dimes, via loophole that the Trinidad Titan has found, has to relinquish one of the titles. So, you know, Dimes is smart. He relinquishes the TB title. And then a little bit of a scuffle back and forth. Not scuffle, banter. Banter's the word of the day. Banter. Happens. And it ends up being a 3-man triple threat match. Well, that's what triple threat means, Mark. For the heavyweight title. Dimes is going to defend later on in the main event against Smooth and Amon. This is going to be amazing. But this loophole business, I wish it would have went a little bit farther in to say what the loophole is. Nonetheless, Dimes give up the TV title. Next up, Cash Flow. Last week, he got beat in his tag team title match with Espinoza, and he said he wanted another match. Well, he brings out the Hood Ninja. The Hood Ninja returns as well. Isaiah. Oh my God, this is insane. I'm telling you, OVW 1028. Make sure you catch it. It's on YouTube. I don't know how much longer it'll be on YouTube because you can get the OVW network for $4.99 a month. OVW Wrestling Network, $4.99 a month. Make sure you sign up. It's only $4.99 a month, and you get all their pay-per-views as well. So Cash Flow and the Hood Ninja take on King's Ransom. And this is a great match. It looks like Flo and the Ninja are going to win this. And then all of a sudden the janitor comes out. The janitor's cleaning up wrong side ringside. He's out there. And Flo kind of gets distracted looking at the janitor. He gets suplexed off the top rope and he loses the match. Then we find out that the janitor is Sam Thompson. Guys, remember the whole storyline? Sam Thompson, the last Saturday Night Special, put his career on the line. Well, he's a janitor now. And now he's just cost Cash Flow the tag team titles. This match was all Flo and Hood Ninja. Really, King's Ransom were taking a shellacking. They should probably thank Sam Thompson for picking up the rappers that the fans were throwing all over in Davis Arena. The Entourage is backstage. And DL3 is hitting on Thunder Kitty. She's 97 years old. Like, what, DL3, what the hell's going on? He's actually the one that's been sending her stuff, and he just kind of wants to go out on a date with her. I really don't know where this is going, but DL3, get some. Thunder Kitty pretty much just says, get away from me, dummy. We're the TV gauntlet, and again, like I said, Dimes had to give this up, so he's not in this. There is going to be a new TV champion. So it starts with Ashton Cove against Dustin Jackson. Talk about quick match. The one after this, where Dustin Jackson wins, Dustin Jackson, nonetheless, defeats Ashton Cove and Nigel Winters in a matter of 2 minutes. Like, boom, just boom. 2 frog splashes, out the door, see ya. Out comes his biggest rival, Colton Cage. Colton Cage maces Dustin Jackson, so he gets disqualified. He's gone. Jackson can't continue because he can't see, so he's gone. So we're down to the finals of the TV title, gauntlet, and it's Adam Revolver with Shannon the Dude, and we get a returning Mr. Spectacular Jesse Goddard makes his return to OVW. Holy moly, again, I said the returns, the changes, we already know so either Revolver or Mr. Spectacular are going to be the TV champ, and let me tell you, short work by Mr. Spectacular on Revolver, hits him with a big power slam, and now we have a new TV champion. We're right on to the heavyweight championship match, and Dimes doesn't wait for the bell. As he's taking on Smooth and Amon, and Dimes just attacks Smooth before the bell. He rolls to the outside. Then he goes over to Amon and starts beating the snot out of him. He's got the heart of a champion. He could show why he is leading the way for OVW, the Stars of Tomorrow, and he is just putting a beat down on both of these bigger men. Dimes is no bigger than my son. Look online, see how big he is, and then compare him to Ethan. It's unbelievable. Nonetheless, it goes back and forth. Dimes hits a sweet double drop kick off the top rope. Not Rock and Roll Express double drop kick, because that takes two people. Dimes just drop kicks both of the guys at the same time. They're more like single leg ones, but nonetheless, I got the Rock and Roll Express thing in there. So Dimes still pushing. And then out of nowhere, Smooth and Amon kind of get together, beat Dimes down. Dimes does get the turnaround, and it looks like he's going to hit the Changemaker. Amon catches him, spins it around in the straight to hell pedigree. Boom, he nails it, but he looks at the crowd for a minute. All of a sudden, Smooth comes in, gives him a little kick in the ass, tosses him to the outside, pins Dimes, and now we have a snake in the grass, Justin Smooth, who has somehow manipulated all of OVW to get him a heavyweight title match, and he wins it. So many titles change hands, so many returns, unbelievable, guys. Make sure you're watching OVW. It was a quick recap because I want you to actually watch the action this week. If you haven't been watching the action, what the hell is wrong with you? All right, we're going to send it out. Collar and elbow. Again, OVW, when you check out and you save 10%.
Wrestling. A love and a passion we all share. I've started a wrestling brand. The wrestling brand. A brand founded on the aspects of wrestling. Two entities working together to create a product that connect emotionally for people everywhere. Collar and Elbow is the brand. Passion and love for wrestling is the drive. I am Al Snow, and this is Collar and Elbow, the wrestling brand.
So Alexa Bliss starts out Raw, and it's good seeing her. It's back. Is it the new one or the old one?
This is the old one. I didn't get a chance to look for a new one. I've been busy. Football and wrestling, and the last thing I'm going to do is play on my phone because I got to play on my Xbox.
Oh, you're not allowed doing that at home, though, are you?
I am allowed to do that at home. Last night I was watching SmackDown on my phone while I was playing Apex Legends on the Xbox. Teresa walks in and says, "What the hell are you doing?" Obviously, I'm a 15-year-old kid. Leave me the hell alone.
Right. All you need is a little Vaseline in the corner, and you'll be good to go. Somehow you knew that one was coming real quick. Guys, both shows were about setting up Money in the Bank matches.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, we'll touch on them, but I mean, both shows were very much. Alexa comes out and she says Braun, last year's winner, Ricochet, Drew, and then Corbin, the 2017 winner, and it sets up a tag team match. Writing was all over the wall. Drew left, and Ricochet gets a win.
So there's already no teaming up between Drew and
Corbin. Which, whatever.
Well, I'm sure there will be, but...
Yeah. Welcome back to Monday Night Raw, Gallows and Anderson. As you get the snot kicked out of you by the Usos. Nothing. No, I mean, the show is, to me, after what I saw and what I talked about in the Crockett Cup, was shoddy. Like, everything, I'm NWA mode right now. That whole thing, and I will continue to beat a dead horse till you guys understand how amazing that show was this past weekend. Awesome. And what they're giving us is not even entertainment.
Not anymore. They're like, I don't know. I'd rather see some no names get beat up than watching some of your bigger stars get beat up. You know what I mean? Like, Gallows and Anders are big stars.
They're on their way out. Come on.
Oh, I don't even think I would have unpacked my bag.
Yeah. They have to be. They want out, as well as the Revival. They just want out. It was just added today that Dash Wilder got 6 more months tacked onto his now, too. Because he was hurt.
Injured.
Yeah. Vince is going to do anything to screw anybody over just to keep them there because, in the sense of thing, yeah, AEW has their May 25th show, but they're not going to roll out until October,
when they get their TV deal.
So if he can get not letting anybody get there until late October, Vince thinks he's winning. Well, these people are like 6 more months. I'll deal with this shit for 6 more months and then I'm out. So
You can throw whatever you want at me and it's not going to help.
The only one I talked about it with a lot of people is Sasha has years left. And she's just going to sit. Writing's on the wall as of right now. I think she's sitting, Paul. I really do. I think she's
so
done.
Too. I think she is done. I don't think she's coming back because she's not happy. And
no.
As well she shouldn't be.
No.
I'm not happy with the way that it's been going because you have Ric Flair who's won 14 world titles, and that's collectively
30 years, bro.
Collectively 30 years, but Charlotte Flair's won 8 and 5.
Right.
And
it's actually 6. I think she came up 2013, but we were corrected last week on this.
We've been corrected a lot on this because the English professor is smarter than us.
The Ms. Bob segment set up just for Shane.
Yeah.
And Bob should be mad too. He didn't get his promises. He didn't get what he was. He wanted to fight Lesnar when he was here.
And speaking of breaking news, Lesnar has retired from the world of MMA. Bad news for wrestling fans everywhere.
Yeah, I hope I saw something out there, not by a site that we use, that he is also possibly thinking of retiring altogether. He's got the money. He could just lay down and be it. Do some show, do Comic-Cons or do something like that.
Yeah, but he'd have to be a people person, and he's not really one of those.
No, he's not. So when I find out more and dive more into that after everything, I might post something. But yeah, the War Raiders are back as whatever the hell they're called this week.
Are they the Viking Raiders or the?
Yeah, they're the Viking Raiders still, and they destroy Lucha. Lucha's the developmental.
Great.
Yep, Lucha. Bliss comes back out and names the women. It's Natty. Okay, I'm all right with that one. It's Naomi. All right, I'm all right with that one. Bliss names herself. I'm all right with that one. Why Dana Brooke?
Why do you not like Dana Brooke? Because she's got blonde hair and big boobs?
Yeah, well, no.
No, but Tootsie Roll, let me see that Tootsie Roll. What? That's what it comes down to, and she's just like a fill-in. If Sasha decides she's done being Sasha mad, she's gonna get a shot at the Money in the Bank.
We have 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Is it a way to bring Sasha back?
And is this a way to start the Sasha and Bayley rivalry?
Yeah.
That everyone wants to see, even Sasha and Bayley.
Again, I'm telling you, one of the greatest matches is that NXT TakeOver where they went the whole Broadway. So we have a match between Bliss and Naomi, and the whole shoelace thing is stupid.
She's not wearing the right shoes, Mark.
But she tied her shoes. How did they keep coming untied?
Because they're not the right. They were borrowed shoes. They didn't fit her feet right.
And then they just popped off?
Yeah.
And then she couldn't do anything.
Then she got butted.
But, yeah, the butt.
The butt.
And then the split moonsault for the win. But in between this, Firefly Funhouse again.
Yes!
Sociopath.
We're painting a picture. The word of the day is sociopath.
Did you see what picture he painted?
A burning house.
Who burned his house?
Randy Orton.
Yep.
Yeah.
Are we going to see that again?
I don't know. I think you're going to see a lot. I'm happy that Bray is back.
I'm happy Bray is back.
Even
I don't know where they're
Bray's
going.
Clues.
I don't even know
We are
Bray's Clues. Bray's Clues. We got mail.
Here's the mail that never fails. It makes me want to wag my tail. When I think about it, I want to wail. Mail! This is the most ridiculous show we've ever done.
33 years old, and you know that better than
I would
children.
Because when I was in high school, every morning during the morning announcements, they would sing that song.
What?
Yep. Because we had mail. Like there was, like announcements was that's what they called it, the mail. So
Morning mail.
The morning mail.
Did you ever do it?
I did the announcements when I was a senior.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like this?
No, it wasn't this fun. It was fun because I was into that stuff. I did journalism. I made a football video. I was nerd too, Mark.
What happened to it?
I don't know.
What happened to it?
Oh, Dave Bundy deleted the whole damn thing.
Steaks and weights!
Steaks and weights, buddy! Steaks and weights!
This show has no rhyme or reason, so we'll just continue. Ray and Dominic are in the back, and...
Oh, Dom's back?
Yep, he loves his dad.
What else is
loves his dad.
Are they setting up for Dom to be a wrestler, or what?
I'm telling you, I still think they scrapped the whole WrestleMania idea of
Dominic. Because Ray was hurt?
Yeah, and Dominic's going to turn on him. And they said he'll take on any big guys. So it's setting up him and Lars, him and, somebody. He fought Joe again, and it was just... whatever.
Samoa Joe.
Yeah. So Bex comes out, and she explains why she's defending both titles.
Because she's a man.
Yeah, she's not protecting.
No explanation needed. She's a man.
Fighting champion. But she's not duck, dodge, dive, duck, dodge. I don't know, 5...
Dip, dodge, duck, dive, and dodge.
Right. She's not doing any of that. She's fighting. She calls out Lacey. They get into a scuffle. The refs break it up. So Lacey knew she was going to get in a scuffle. I'm always going to point out stupid things. She was there. She knew she was going to get in a scuffle because she had a ring attire on. Last week, she came in as a sophisticated lady.
Sometimes she just likes to wear a ring attire, though. I'd if I was me, I walk around in my ring attire all the time.
So
I got a pair of Superman, sports undies. Yeah.
Spandex?
Yeah.
I bet your T loves those.
Loves them.
I do have a pair, too. I wear them around Christmas. They say blah, blah, blah.
Wow.
Right?
I'm sure that they love your holiday spirit in the Martinez household.
They do. Your boys, Ryder and Hawkins, takes on the Revival, and the Revival, please let them go.
Yeah.
Please let them leave.
Did they beat them?
No. Yeah, Ryder and Hawkins won.
Yeah, well, that's because they're woo-woo-woo. You know it.
The Revival is so much better.
No.
Miz ends up challenges Shane for a cage match, and Shane accepts it via Twitter. And then your boy comes out, Sami Zayn.
I have so many boys.
You do have so many.
Sami Zayn is your boy.
I love Sami Zayn. I love this whole shtick and how he's going to treat people at WWE how they need to be treated.
And everybody
like assholes.
can go to hell.
Right? No vacations this week, and Sammy's taking the power back.
Did he wrestle?
He did not.
Well, that's good because he still needs some cardio.
He does. He looks like me. Now I'm inserting drawings in my notes. The main event of the night was AJ Styles and Seth signing their contract for Money in the Bank. Some cool comparisons, how, AJ and Seth are kind of the same. They do the same shtick, this, that, and the other. Seth's happy being Seth. AJ's happy being AJ. A lot of banter, a little bit of a scuffle, and it ends with AJ hitting a flying forearm, and Seth goes through the table. But AJ got a little dinged. He hit the table as well, kind of.
Thank you, I'm sweaty in the paper.
So, yeah. Again, a lackluster week for Raw.
All the shows.
Yeah, all the shows.
All the shows.
Over to SmackDown, Kofi starts the show, and just talking about the whole recap. What he did, how he got there, and then KO comes out and they banter. KO is getting ready to take on Kofi. Here comes Woods. He turns around and gets a super kick.
Woods is out.
Woods is out. See you later.
I'm surprised he wasn't in a back brace because you know that he got powerbombed last week on the hardest part of the ring.
Really?
The hardest part of the ring.
Holy hell.
I don't know if you've ever heard that before.
No. Did you ever hear Padlana went to WrestleMania 1?
I did not hear that.
Yep. He was. He was there. He sat right next to Liberace.
Liberace?
Yep.
Wow, that was... These must have been in the high-class seats then, I guess.
He was. He was. And he actually got pizza from his mom and dad's place for Wendy Richter.
Oh.
Yeah. You don't know. The Padlanos are, Cheryl went to school with James Conner.
Well, she also knows the Usos because she works in the same penitentiary.
Right. It's unbelievable. These guys, they should be on the show more. All of them. They should be the hosts and we should just be the guests.
Right?
Unbelievable. Bayley versus Bex. Hey, did you know this was the first time ever for this match?
No.
I was hoping you'd insert crickets, but...
Sorry. Getting good at this soundboard thing.
I set them up and nothing.
And I knock them out.
The story was just for Flair to come out and beat both their asses.
Great. So is this going to be a triple threat match now? So Beck's going to have Lacey Evans one-on-one and then a triple threat match and keep both titles. Because she's a man. I don't know if you know this or not.
Right, and Bayley takes the pin again.
Yeah.
Alistair in the back doing a dark promo. That's not even what I have written, but nonetheless. Time to drink. Paul can address the Hardys.
Yeah, no, Paul can't because Paul wasn't home yet.
It's all right. The Hardys
there you go, Mark.
Had to give up their titles. Jeff can barely walk. He's got a crutch. He looks like Ethan did a couple weeks ago.
Oh.
Limping around.
Because of Lars Sullivan.
And then who comes out?
Lars Sullivan.
And what's he do?
Whoops their butts.
No, he doesn't really hit Jeff, but he takes out Matt, and then our boy comes out. What's up?
Oh, R-Truth.
Yeah.
And the truth shall set the Hardys free.
Well, he gets destroyed, and that's that.
No anxiety.
Nothing.
I bet he's taking CBD oil.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're selling that? You want to do a little promo?
No.
Okay. He kind of did. So the Money in the Bank people were named for the SmackDown side. It's Randy, Ali, Almas, and Finn. So at Money in the Bank, we don't get an IC title match.
Are you Are you sure about that yet?
I'm sure.
Because what happens if Finn loses the IC title?
To who?
Before.
To who?
Who do we got on the shelf right now?
Right.
Well, that's a good point.
Right. Finn does need to be in that match. I mean, it's a...
Finn should have a shot at the title.
Right, I agree. I do like that Almas and Ali are in it. Randy's just because he's a legend killer. He's gonna, he'll do a nice spot.
But there's no legends in this match. He's the legend in the match.
Right. He'll do some nice spots, but I don't know. I really can't say as of right now this is who's gonna win the Money in the Bank. I'm not excited for it. I really am not.
There's gonna be some good with Ricochet and Ali and Finn. You're gonna see some good spots.
Well, yeah, you'll see some good spots. All right, you know what? I lied. I'm picking Drew to win this.
Well, that's probably your best bet because Drew's the next in line.
Right. I think Drew, we're ways off from... by the way, Money in the Bank was our first pay-per-view that we've ever done. We're coming real freaking close to our year anniversary.
Holy freaking 365 days, brother. What are you going to do when the Grand Crushers run wild on you, brother?
So... Sainska, that we call them.
Yeah.
Kairi Sane and Asuka wrestled some locals. Really didn't say a name or anything, but shout out, my girl's in it. You saw Jay Lee from OVW.
Oh, see that, and you're pumped.
I was
you
pumped
messaged
about
her
that
during the match, like she was going to whip out her phone and be, "Oh, thanks, Mark."
I did.
I'm kind of busy right now, though.
I did. During the match, I'm like, looking good on SmackDown. She's like, thanks, weirdo. But you know what? I give props. She made it on TV. She's been on Raw before against Sasha and Bayley. Now again against Sainska. So she's getting her dues. You see Golden Gloves in the back. If you don't know who the hell they are, it's Sonya and Mandy.
Mandy.
Okay. And they're deciding who gets the spot. And Mandy says, hey, you deserve it to Sonya. And Sonya's like, no, you were this close. And not that you can see how close my fingers are, but you were this close to getting it. So Sonya defers. We got 3 weeks left, Paul.
There's going to be some banter. Banter's the word of the day.
It is. It's scuffling.
Not sociopath. Sociopath.
Yeah, right. Roman comes out and Smackdown's his yard.
Yeah. But Shane McMahon says, ha-ah.
Ha-ah! Nah!
This is my yard.
Well,
my daddy gave it to me.
My family owns the whole land. It might be your yard, but we own the land. Great. And then he's got to fight somebody.
Yeah, he's got to fight the B-Team, go, go, go!
B-Team, go, go, go! With a special enforcer referee.
Elias.
Are we walking with him still?
I'm always walking with Elias. Even though you're going to get whooped on.
It turns out to be 3-on-1, and Roman squeaks away the victory.
With a win.
Yeah.
Walks away a winner. I'm walking away a winner.
Walking on sunshine. Walking on sunshine, yeah.
Is that a better one for you?
Yeah.
So now we're up to the Kevin Owens show.
Not yet.
Almost there.
We got Ollie and Finn against Orton and Almas.
Oh.
Finn and Ollie get the win, but Randy hits an RKO
out of nowhere.
Yep.
On everybody.
The final, Miggs doesn't like it either. He was in bed early. He didn't really watch SmackDown, so I don't know what you're saying. Yeah.
Oh, Dad.
The final females are announced. Ember Moon, I'm excited about that one.
I'm pumped for Ember.
I'm hoping she gets the win.
It's the sames.
I really am.
Samesies.
And Mella. Again, we still love Mella. Yeah.
But that's only 2.
Well, because Bailey was announced earlier.
Oh, and who was the 4th?
Because
it's 8-on-8.
Mandy.
Oh, yeah, Mandy. Why I wasn't paying attention.
Now we're at the Kevin Owens show, and special guest is supposed to be Xavier Woods.
And he didn't come out.
No.
But his action figure come out.
His action figure came out, and then Kofi comes out. They got in a scuffle.
A little bit of this and that.
After some banter.
Some bantering and some scuffling. And then thumbs to the eyes, and Kofi with his weird chest muscles. Chesticles was flexing at KO.
So, are you excited for this?
Yeah, I'm kind of excited.
Do you see Kevin getting the title? Or do you think Kofi actually gets a title defense?
Kofi gets a title defense, but pretty soon here they're going to take the belt off of Kofi, and Kevin Owens is getting it.
So you think this is a 2 pay-per-view show?
Yeah. Cause
show meaning storyline.
Storyline, yes. Because they're not going to let Roman Reigns take it from Kofi. That will kill Reigns.
Well, maybe that's what's needed.
That's going to kill...
Complete heel turn.
Well, that'd be nice, but he's loved too much.
He is loved too much. And he's starting
to be like a John Cena heel turn.
And I'm saying he's starting to do the same things that Cena did. He's getting the make of the wishes. Make of the wishes? Make of the wishes! He's getting the make of the wishes, and he's doing all that. So, as much as I am anti-Roman, the WWE... So that is Raw and Smackdown in a nutshell. There is also a leak out there that I'm just going to say that NXT is supposed to get a Money in the Bank match as well. Possibly.
Nice. I'd like to see that.
I would like to see that with other ones, but we'll see.
You know who I hope's in it?
Adam Cole, baby! Hey! Yes, I agree. So, all right, Paul's favorite segment.
Wait, can we talk about something real quick?
We can. Never mind. Paul's not getting it yet.
I know, but did you see that Dean Ambrose died?
What?
Yeah, Dean Ambrose is dead, but Johnny Moxon.
That's not it.
Johnny Mayberry.
That's not
Johnny Monopoly.
No.
Does it start with an M?
It does.
Johnny.
But no, you guys will just have to look it up what it is because I am not going to tell Paul until next week when he comes back and says it correctly.
Check it out. Dean Ambrose is Johnny somebody. Starts with an M. But he's
breaking out of a wall.
He's coming out of
the dice have a 2 and a 5 showing right towards you. There's a lot of different double or nothing things involved into it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you were just horrible. Who owns IWC? Who owns IWC?
Justin Plummer.
All right.
Yeah, Jake is the quarterback.
Hey, the English professor's up and he's pissed off.
Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson approached Tony Schiavone at the podium in the TBS studio following their singles matches. Schiavone explained to the television audience that Blanchard had just won his match against the Menace by using the patented slingshot suplex, while prior, Anderson vanquished his opponent by administering his devastating gourd buster. This proved, as Schiavone concluded before welcoming his guests, that the Four Horsemen were still together. Blanchard rebutted Ricky Morton's interview from earlier in the show by saying that this was 1987, that he could wrestle Morton anytime in any venue, but that the barbaric stipulation of strap-holding lumberjacks was out of the question. Cue Jim Crockett, who walked to the podium and was met by a Blanchard quip. "What do you got, another check to cancel or something?" Crockett told Blanchard he wasn't there to cancel a check, but rather to inform him of the stipulation of his match with Rock and Roll Express member Ricky Morton. It would be exactly what Morton had requested, a lumberjack match in which the lumberjacks each held a strap that they could use during the match. Unlike other lumberjack matches in which the men around the ring are charged with the duty of returning to the ring either participant who leaves the match, whether on his own volition or by being forcibly propelled by his opponent, these lumberjacks would have leather straps which they would be encouraged to use against the match participants outside of the ring before throwing them back into the squared circle. There was a brief moment of stunned silence. The Horseman turned to Schiavone for an explanation, and he reiterated the stipulation along with the date and the location, October 18th at the Omni in Atlanta. "Can you believe that?" Blanchard asked his partner. "It says wrestling on the marquee," Anderson protested. At least one cooler head prevailed. "Regroup," Anderson encouraged Blanchard. "It's okay. We're all right," Anderson continued with a hand on Blanchard's shoulder. But there was no calming Blanchard. Blanchard shouted and beat his hands on the podium as he accused Crockett once more of canceling checks, spoke of Dusty Rhodes' salary, claimed that Jim Crockett Promotions had a conspiracy against the Four Horsemen, and dared Crockett to be at ringside with the strap, promising him he'd throw Morton right into his lap. Then he shifted his focus to his opponent on October 18th at the Omni in Atlanta, warning Morton of the impending whipping he'd received from Anderson and also guaranteeing that the Tag Team Championship would soon be in the Horseman camp. He stormed off the set as Anderson pointed to Schiavone and concluded the interview with his customary, "It's been your pleasure, as usual." Schiavone threw to commercial, and we saw the map of the United States twirling top over bottom with the words Saturday Edition on one side and an image of the upcoming match on the other side, while we listened to the unforgettable Jim Crockett Saturday Edition theme. All of this information and excitement clocked in at a tight, concise 2 minutes and 22 seconds. In just 2 minutes and 22 seconds, the audience received all of the information about the wrestlers in the match, the stipulation, the location, the date, and the time, along with entertaining, believable performances by everyone involved. The last part is a key point. There were entertaining, believable performances by everyone involved. Everyone knew his role, and there was no posturing or upstaging. This was Tully Blanchard's promo. Arn Anderson was a background character, and he said his lines when it made sense for him to do so. Tony Schiavone, aside from holding the microphone, spoke to the fans only to give us the information we needed, and spoke to the wrestlers only when they addressed him. In hindsight, the best part of this promo, sadly, is that Mr. Crockett entered at 43 seconds and was gone at 1 minute and 2 seconds. He was on screen for less than 20 seconds and still managed to tell us everything we needed to know from him. Unlike a 2019 Vince McMahon promo, Mr. Crockett didn't spend 10 minutes with muddled words dripping from his rubbery lips while sounding like he was having a bout of bronchitis. Unlike Stephanie McMahon, he didn't overextend any of his words and make absurd gestures or faces. He simply spoke like a suit making an executive decision. And then he left. He left his employee, Tully Blanchard, to do his job. Last week, as Raw went on the air, the announce team informed us that there would be 2 triple threat matches that night, with the winners of each match facing each other at the end of the show to determine the top contender to Seth Rollins' Universal Championship. Then Triple H came to the ring and told us the same thing. Fine, I get it. Every show starts with a promo in the ring, and Triple H's portion of the promo was tight, concise, and entertaining. at least by today's standards. It would have been fine had it ended there. But then every participant in the matches had to make their corporate fabricated entrances and say their written lines that they crammed into memory. And if we're going to talk about believability in wrestling performance, has Samoa Joe never watched an episode of Raw or Smackdown? Because if he had, he would know that promos are constantly interrupted by other promos. Yet every time another wrestler's music hit, Joe threw his arms in the air or stomped his foot in disgust at the interruption. This is wrestling's version of our modern-day complaint that everyone wins a trophy or that everyone should get playing time. Rather than worry about the betterment of the show or the entertainment of the fans, WWE had to give every superstar their ample time on the field. If Tully Blanchard and company were a Broadway premiere, last week's opening segment of Raw was the closing performance at a daycare where all of the children stand in a straight line and repeat all of the words they learned during the year. And before we get to today's English tip of the week, I want to mention that last week I mistakenly said it's, IT''S, is a conjunction. I meant to say it's, IT''S, is a contraction. Words cannot capture the depth of my shame or reach the base of my sorrow for this mistake. Let's stick with contractions since we're on the subject. A contraction is a word creating by shortening and combining two or more words with one or more apostrophes. I used two contractions 2 sentences ago when I said, let's stick with contractions since we're on the subject. The contractions in that sentence are let's, L-E-T''S, and where, W-E''re. In let's, L-E-T''S, we have combined the words let and us. And in where, W-E''re, we have combined the words we and are. Typically, the first word is represented in its entirety, and the following words are shortened. The shortened words will require apostrophes in place of the omitted letters. Let's take a look at a few examples. When Ric Flair tells us that we have no choice but to love him, he uses two contractions. Whether you like it or you don't like it, learn to love it because it's the best thing going today. He uses the contraction don't, D-O-N''T. Don't is the contracted form of do not. We take do and not and combine them by writing them as one word, omitting the O in the second word, not, and replacing it with an apostrophe. The Nature Boy also uses the contraction it's, IT''S. It's is the contracted version of it is. We bring the words together, omit the I and is, and replace it with an apostrophe. When that poor woman storms onto the set of Razor Ramon's vignette, demanding to know why he has not returned her phone calls, he callously dismisses her before casually telling us, I'd probably scar her heart for life. That's too bad, man. The bad guy used the contraction that's, T-H-A-T''S. That's combines that and is. The I in is omitted and replaced by an apostrophe, and the two words become one. I mentioned earlier a rare instance that a contraction can combine more than two words. In this situation, just like combining two words for a contraction, you would take the words in question, in this case 3 words, and replace all omissions with apostrophes. Let's take a look at a confrontation between Jim Ross and Taz. Taz tells JR, I'd have loved to slap you right across the face, but it looks like God already beat me to it. In this vicious sentence, Taz is saying, I would have loved, but he's using the contraction I'd have. We've omitted the first 4 letters of would, W-O-U-L-D, and replaced them with an apostrophe. And we've omitted the first 2 letters of have, H-A-V-E, and replaced them with an apostrophe. So we get I'd have. I, apostrophe D, apostrophe V-E. While this is not grammatically incorrect, you should try to avoid the types of contractions that combine more than 2 words, especially in writing. If you're going to use a contraction in this case, it's better to say I'd have, that is I apostrophe D, followed by the word have, H-A-V-E, or I would have, I, followed by the word W-O-U-L-D, apostrophe V-E. Then again, Taz is from Brooklyn, and not everyone from the County of Kings can speak the English of the Queen. And with that, class,
you're dismissed.
Garbage tip of the week coming right up. Mark, let's run through our shtick. I have to enunciate because people think I say stick.
Right.
And that would just be beating a dead horse.
Dead.
It's a shtick.
Dead horse.
Shtick.
Maybe Johnny Monopoly will help you out.
Pro Printing in Office, 814-834-3006. Call Dave Alt for all your printing needs.
John Mayberry was a baseball player for the St. Louis Cardinals, so that clearly wasn't him either.
I said Johnny Moxon, and that was the quarterback from Varsity Blues.
Oh, Dawson from Dawson's Creek.
Yeah.
What's his name? James Van Breek.
James Vanderbeek.
Yeah. You can get that right,
well,
but you can't figure out the
because it's Varsity Blues.
Oh my God. Collar and elbow, hats, hoodies, tees, sweats, jackets, all your wrestling needs as a fan. And when you check out, type in OVW, you get 10% off.
Check us out on Facebook and Instagram at CanCrusher69.
Gmail, cancrusher69@gmail.com.
Our website, https://cancrusher69.wixsite.com/cancrushers.
Check us out on the new app. It's called WrestlePost. We are on there, one of the very first podcasts to be on there. They also show you and tell you events in your area. You can actually click on Pennsylvania or New Mexico or North Dakota, wherever you're at.
You mean with Seth Rollins' family?
Well, at least it's not Dean Ambrose.
North Dakota.
Right.
When he's from Iowa.
Right. And they tell you what events are coming up. It's a really cool app. Alexa, Boxcast, Overcast, Bullhorn, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Buzzsprout, iTunes, TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. You can hear us all there. And Thursday nights, we are on Blog Talk Radio, and you can call us at
563-999-3462.
Every Thursday.
563-999-3462.
From 7 to 8.
563-999-3462.
Paul takes a break.
563-999-3462.
And I have the English professor with me, and usually Big Steve, Steve Delicious. And Big Steve, by the way, if you're listening to this before we talk to you tomorrow, I got you that little thing you wanted.
Thursday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. That's our call-in show.
Blog Talk Radio.
Yeah.
A couple events coming up from the Ashes. Sean Phoenix, you heard last week, he was the Spotlight wrestler on Can Crusher Spotlight. That was a sweet show. If you have not listened to it, Paul, I was going to call you John. Whatever. At least I didn't call you Ambrose.
I didn't say I got Ambrose right. I didn't get Moxicillin right.
Make sure that you go back and listen to that. We talk a lot about it's From the Ashes, Sean Phoenix benefit in Lamont Furnace, Pennsylvania, May 10th, and all proceeds are going to help Sean, and now it can be released. It's for his hearing aid. If you haven't listened to it, I'll give you a little spoiler. He's getting a microphone put in his left ear because it's completely gone. Okay, so a microphone goes in the left ear, and the speaker kind of goes in his right, so he's not deaf. If you're talking to him on his left side, he can hear it on the right, and that procedure costs $5,000. So anything, guys, it's tagged on our website. If you want to just donate, just go to the pages through there. Anything helps out. Really, if you can help out somebody that's freaking put on amazing shows for you, help out Sean Phoenix. It's needed.
Definitely needed, and definitely worthwhile.
Yeah.
Pay it forward, I guess, is the best way to do it.
Next show is Imagine Pro Wrestling Volume 2 in Altoona, Pennsylvania, May 18th. And D'Lo Brown's going to be there along with Manny Fernandez, and I just stepped on Paul, and he's pissed.
I'm not mad, but I'm just disappointed. Like, I was mine.
What? Why is that yours?
Because you just did the Sean Phoenix one. That's how it goes. You go, I go, you go, I go, you go, I go, you go, I go.
Well, you said
play the damn music.
You said pay it forward, so that was good enough.
Garbage, 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 garbage.
Whoa. And the burp from Miggy. Garbage tip of the week.
That might... Whatever.
Don't edit that out. It was perfect.
I won't.
Miggy's sick of your stuff, too.
Done. Guys, it has been the rainy season.
Still is the rainy season.
It's still going to be the rainy season for a while.
April showers brings more May showers.
And then June you get flowers. Cans. Don't put them underneath your spouts. Don't put them underneath your roofs.
If you pull your can out and it's full of water, dump it out first. Use your lid, kind of siphon it.
Well, I'm going to say, actually, put little holes in the bottom of your can.
Yeah.
You know?
Also a good idea.
You know, just drill holes in. They don't need to be gaping holes. Just get a 1/4-inch drill, 5 or 6 holes. I do it. It doesn't really ruin your can. It helps us.
Right?
Because guess what? If there's maybe a 1/4 I'll pick up, but if it's halfway full of water,
it don't get picked up.
It doesn't get picked up, and the bag is already saturated enough. As soon as we try to pull that up, it's going to rip. So
it don't get picked up either.
You get 2 things. You get to keep your water, and you get to keep your garbage.
And you get to keep your garbage water.
So 3.
That's a triple-decker.
Triple threat.
Triple threat match for the not getting thrown in the garbage truck.
Right. I don't know what the hell is going on. Actually, this weekend, I am taking 1 day and stepping away from wrestling to go do something with my boy, Nick Gelbo.
Yeah. Oh, you're going to the baseball game Saturday.
The Oakland Athletics are coming to Pennsylvania for the first time in probably Nick's lifetime.
And probably the last time in Nick's lifetime.
So I'm going to go hang out with them. The Padalanos have also determined that that's going to be the Padalano family baseball game.
Outing.
So I don't know if I'm staying in Pittsburgh yet or not, because we might partake.
And some Can Crusher activities.
Some Can Crusher activity. But we'll see from there. So
Saturday at 1 o'clock, I'll be at DuBois City Park playing the Williamsport Wildcats.
How chances?
Chances of what, winning?
Yeah.
It all depends on what team we show up as.
The good team.
Yeah, if we show up as a good team, we shouldn't lose. If we show up as a team that we've been the past couple weeks with our offense not being able to move the football, then we're going to be in trouble.
What about Aaron Nicholas?
Aaron Nicholas is a monster.
No, he's a little monster.
Yeah.
He's like a pocket monster.
You remember the real monster thing with the little chubby guy that's kind of hairy, got the 2 eyeballs in his hands?
He was blue with orange hair.
That's Aaron Nicholas right there.
Yeah, all over it.
All over it.
Even with the handcuffs.
No, Aaron's a monster. We're not clicking offensively, and that's on us. We got to fix it.
Fix it.
Yeah.
Fix a flat?
Fix a flat. Our defense, though, is lights out. I mean, it may not look it because the scores are like 42-12, but they're scoring on either home run balls or very rarely do we have a team drive right down the field and score. It's bad field position given up by the offense or special teams, and they start with short down and distance, and you can't expect them to be great all the time, but they are great most of the time.
Right. Do we have anything else?
Yeah, what the hell is Dean Ambrose's new name?
All right. Remember, Paul?
Just say the new name, Mark!
Just because...
I'm not saying it. I'm going to ruin the whole thing till you say it.
Just because you're trash.
Doesn't mean you can't do great things, Mark. It's called a garbage can, not a garbage cannot.
Are you sure?
I'm still not sure.
You can't find it.
I cannot find it.
It's like Moxie.
Is it Moxie? Are you sure it's Moxie?
No, I'm not either. That's why I actually didn't correct you.
Oh, see that? Wait, I found it. Former big teaser.
It's on our page.
I know, that's what I'm looking at.
This is the worst ending we've had.
No, this isn't. Moxley. Moxley. So I was close with the Moxins. And
not a Moxicillin.
Well,
or Monopoly.
He also changed his Twitter name to Johnny Moxley.
Yeah, and he hasn't used Twitter in forever.
I know.
All right, guys, this is long. Bye. Have a good weekend.
Peace out, Cub Scouts.